goal is have 100 conversations in 100 days to forge a game. Simple as that. The problem is most people, the motivation to actually get out there and forge a game can be a bit of a struggle at times. But it's the old story of, how does an ant eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so the whole point of doing this exercise is that it's just one conversation, every day. And that forges a game. Simple as that.
Like conversations with a sales focus, is that the idea, or are you just talking to people about your business?
Yep. So the key there and the key word to use there is a conversation that's forging your game. So that may be on a sales context. It may be talking to somebody who you want to refer the ideal client to you. It might be just something that you want to, for your personal development, that you want to forge your game. So using that as an example, today I'm on day 4 of my 100 conversation journey, and I had a meeting with a lawyer, which was fantastic. Talked about his journey, talked about my journey, and I was very upfront with what I wanted to get out of this conversation with him was there's a lot of hurt in the legal profession. There's a lot of depression, there's a lot of suicide, there's a lot of burnout, and I want to be in there helping lawyers. So found a lawyer that I knew, that I trusted, that I hadn't caught up for a while, and the outcome to that meeting was quite clear. Meeting with the Law Society and with the idea of getting me in front of most of the local lawyers. Fantastic. So tick, and it was just a conversation and a very enjoyable one at that. So that was the intent. So for me, day 4, I've had 5 conversations. I cheated and had an extra one because I knew I was going to have tomorrow off. But that's resulted in 2 referrals, 2 potential clients, one of which I've got already a proposal booked in for next week, introduction to one of New Zealand's wealthiest families, and this thing around the Law Society. So, that's just from a few conversations.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay.
Can you help us kick off the conversations, Phil? Like, what are you saying when you start? How are you approaching people?
Yep, so I'm very upfront, and I share the journey that I'm on. Hey guys, my mission at the moment is to have 100 conversations in 100 working days. I put in the working days because I don't want to be doing it Saturday and Sunday, and I want to have a conversation with you. And I find that actually sets the scene a lot easier than just trying to get hold of somebody saying, "Hey, I'd like to meet you," because then they're sort of thinking, "Well, why are these people wanting? Why is he wanting to see me? What's he wanting to talk about?" So I'm pretty upfront about it, and then I set the intention right at the start of the meeting. So the intention of this meeting is to have a conversation. I want to learn more about you. I'm going to tell you a bit about my journey. And obviously, depending on what part of that is to forward my game, set that up front. So, for example, with lunch today with the lawyer, I was right up front at the start and said, I want to be working with legal professionals because I see there's a lot of hurt and this is what I want to get out of it. And I want to seek your advice around it. So that, I guess, is another point that I'd make is, don't go in there going, I want 10 referrals or blah, blah, blah. In this case, I said to the guy, look, I want some advice around how do I do this? People love giving advice rather than just going, I want 10 referrals from you, You'll get them anyway by default. So that's how I have it. And then just, the key there is, and the key with any sales, to be quite frank, is you got 2 of these and 1 of these, ask questions, listen. And, hour and a half later, it was a massive outcome for today's conversation, right? So just, being really intentional about these conversations. Who are you talking to and what are you actually wanting to get out of it? Because if you're going into a conversation without that intentionality, it's just not going to work.
Yep. Okay. That's great. So who are you talking to, Phil? Where are you getting these people from? Are they contacts that you've already got or new people that you're meeting?
Great question. A real mixture. And I guess because I've set the challenge of 100 conversations in 100 days, it's actually forced me to go, crap, what have I got on next week? So, for example, I've already got 4 of those 5 conversations locked and loaded for next week because I've looked ahead and gone, hey, man, I've got to get these done. If I look at those 4 or 5, 2 are people I've not met yet, but I've heard. And it's just like, right, I've just got to have that conversation. 2 are one is a person that I've known before that I haven't caught up with for a while, so it's time to have a catch up because things are moving and evolving. And another one's actually an existing client of mine. So I've gone back to them because again I want their advice around how I can get more clients like them. So I look a real mixture. I was at the gym, mean leg workout today, so I'm sitting down at the moment. But yeah, talking to the personal trainer there. I didn't class that as a conversation, but that's going to lead on to, well, who else do you know in that area that that may actually lead into a workshop. So with gym goers about why they're not getting the results they're getting, for example. So that was just one little conversation. I won't class that as one of them, but that may be another one for another week to actually sit down and drill that further. So at the end of the day, it's just opening the mind up to having those conversations. Because if I can achieve what I've achieved in just those 5 conversations, or 5 conversations, I mean, goodness me, wait till I get to 100. It's it's going to be bloody great.
What do you reckon you'll get out of the 100 calls? Like, what are your goals, Phil, for the next 100 days?
Yep. So the key to this is monitoring it. So I've just started a chart on my wall where I put the date, the name of the person I've met, and the outcome. So again, really intentionality of that. And the other part to that is I've also put a dollar figure beside the potential outcome for the client. So to put it in perspective, those 5 conversations potentially are $100,000 worth of revenue over the next 12 months. So that's 5, and imagine what it's going to be when it extrapolates out. So the big part of that is, like, there's got to be an outcome, and put a dollar figure on it, because I liken it to if that's potentially 5 conversations, and that's 20 grand a conversation, really. Well, why wouldn't I be having more?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So now it's not always going to be that high. And when I ran insurance agents, I said to them, a phone call's worth $1,000. $100. Because, 10 phone calls, I'd make 3 appointments, I make 1 sale and earn $1,000. Each phone call's worth $100, right? Now, if I gave you $100 and said, go make a phone call, you'd do it, right?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Simple as that. So for me, that's me going. Oh, exactly. And when you break it down like that, it's the old ant eating an elephant, and that's sales, right? Simple as that.
Sure.
The intention of doing this is absolutely to increase revenue. For me personally, it's also around increasing my profile in the local market, because I have been a bit quiet in the last 12 months building and developing the business. It's time to unleash that. Time to unleash the what I've been doing and the services and offerings that I have. So this is the kickstart of it.
Sure.
So the hardest part's always getting started. So, like, with these people that you've got lined up for next week, have you already said to them, I want to catch up with you on this day and talk to you about whatever it is that your intention is? Have you already set that up to that stage?
Some I have been very upfront. Right, I want to catch up with you. My intention is it's 100 conversations in 100 days. I want to have a conversation with you, and this is what I want to talk about, and this is what I want to seek your advice on. Great. Others are just email saying, hey, look, been meaning to catch up with you, free for a coffee on this day. So again, really setting intentionality. And this is something I didn't do so well a while ago, was, I'd say, hey, let's catch up. When are you free? Now I go, hey, let's catch up. Are you free on Wednesday at 1 o'clock for a coffee at this cafe? So really setting that intentionality, and bar a few people go, I can't do this day, but can you do this day? Bang, they're in, locked in.
Yeah, otherwise you're going, when are you free? When are you free?
And you get the emails back and forth. The key with this is have a bit of fun.
Sure.
It's all about having a bit of fun, and the outcome is getting you out there, and it just takes away all that resistance that most people have when it comes to having the conversation, having the sales, right? Because sales are just a conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got one of my clients, financial advisor. I talked about it to him yesterday. He emailed. He's already phoned me today, going, "Where do I start? Where do I start?" Because he can see now it makes it fun. It takes all the whole. You've got to go out and prospect to go and have some conversations. Go and have a bit of fun. Share your story. Listen to their story, but be very credible with what you wanted to get out of it.
Yeah, that's great. So really it's about building relationships, and then at the end of the day, if you don't get the result you wanted, you've still got somebody that's there as a possible contact for the future for more referrals or whatever.
Absolutely. It's building a database, it's building your relationships, and just tell your story. But again, be very intentional about the outcome that you want of it. And probably the best advice I've got, and it was something I was just recently given actually by an agency that does funding for a charity that I'm involved with. And she said, don't go asking for money. So don't go asking for referrals, go asking for advice. And people will give you the money, people will give you the referrals. So, how do I get into the law in front of all the lawyers? Who do I need to contact to get in there? That's just gold.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. I think it works really well. If you ask, like, play the apprentice sort of thing, because I'm only 26 and they can play the apprentice, ask for the advice, but you have to apply the advice that you're given. So if they give you advice, apply it, action, and then you start getting a really strong response, and the referrals start.
Yeah, because most humans, they love giving advice. They love helping people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also scared to ask for help. We're scared to ask for support because what will people think of us? Yeah, stop that.
Yeah.
Get on there and have the conversation. So it's all about inject a bit of fun into it, because why not? Life's too short not to have a bit of fun. Why do we not have fun with sales? Why do we not have fun with growing our business?
Yeah.
Why do we not have fun loving our business?
Yeah.
It's an awesome idea. So when you get started, though, the easiest things to kind of like drop off and stop doing it after a few days or a few weeks. So
absolutely.
How do you stay?
So that's why I want to bring it to. I want to bring it to this page, to Loving Your Business page, and because when you commit to other people publicly, and you're doing it, it's going to happen.
That'll keep you accountable.
Absolutely, and accountability to post every day. Not necessarily who you've contacted, but I've contacted this, and this was the outcome, So when I started this, I started with my buddy in Australia, and Rob and I started this. It's been great. We've been posting and forwarding each other, and then I just thought, why am I just holding it to the two of us? Why don't we get a whole community just having 100 conversations in 100 days? How cool would that be? And then holding ourselves accountable, because you feed off other people's enthusiasm and results and excitement, and you want more of that yourself.
Yeah.
So my challenge to everybody on this group is let's have 100 conversations in 100 working days. Share with each other the wins, the frustrations, do you know anybody I need to contact? It's a pretty small world out there. Let's all work together on that. And I'd love to see the results at the end of 100 days. I reckon it'd just be phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure. We can get some prizes and stuff going too, like some ebooks, like Gary Vee's Crush It ebook I'm listening to right now. After the first month, we'll see who's had the most conversations, who stayed the most accountable, and we'll just flick them an ebook, the audio book.
Absolutely. Look, I'm happy to throw in a few of the Loving Your Business books when they're printed. So a couple of months publicly putting it out there, it's going to be done.
Yep, for sure, that'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll throw up a couple of books for that.
All right, cool. Well, let's get into it. We won't keep this going, keep it going up too long and all that stuff. But I'll talk to you on the group, and we'll keep smashing it. Let's keep the post going and lead the team.
Yeah, let's do it, mate.
All right.
And fun.
Thanks, Phil.
Okay, guys.